Actually settles it for decision tree regressor. Let's actually say you want to actually make your own prediction, because just predicting S test is not what most of us want. So we want to actually make prediction. You can make use of this regressor, or you can make use of the classifier, but let me make use of regressor, because most of the time I like this regressor over that of the, so I prefer classifier over that of the regress. What am I saying? So them just copy some of all these guys, because I can't think of any new data on my head. So let me just copy this. So I can call it, come down here, okay, somewhere here, I can call it, paste it, I can call it data 2, since we want to predict our own, so that we're not going to set any new, we're not setting any data for it, because the feature that we're going to pass into, and then we're going to get our purchase colon for us. So I'm going to tweak this value. So assuming that the age is something like 2, maybe this guy is actually 282. It's actually, let me just put some random numbers in front. So it's actually maybe let me just leave this 35, or let me just leave the last one. So it's actually 4, and let me set this to 0. So let me just set this guy to maybe something like 50, maybe something like 400, maybe something like 200, maybe something like 38. Let me just leave this guy to maybe 250. Let me leave this guy to 11. So these are the new data I want to actually fire into. Remember that this is actually just a data that I'm just editing right now. I don't even think of this data anytime. So 45, let's leave this 45. Let's assume the age 45 and the salary is 600. So we should be able to get that one. I think that makes sense. So let's just turn it to can say data frame. So we can say pred, I like calling this name pred data frame. I know that this signifies that the data frame that I want to actually predict. So we're going to set it data 2. This is just to convert this of our data 2 to that of the to data frame, like a table. It's not actually a must. You can actually just create them inside of this of our this side of, because this is where we're going to make the prediction. This of our model of predict. This is where we're going to fire. And so in case if you don't want to actually create a data frame, so you can say maybe something like, instead of writing this, what is it called, 2 here, 211, we can also just fire it directly. So it's going to be 2,11. These 2 signify the age, and the what is it called, and the 11 signify that of the salary. Remember that this is the what we are trying to predict here. So, but other than that, I'm just going to send it in here. So I'm going to say our what? I want to say our pred underscore what? DF. So simple as this. So I think everything looks okay. Yeah, I think everything should be okay. No problem right here. So okay, let's actually run this to actually see our result. So we're expecting our result to actually appear. Okay, let's actually print this off our pred and just cancel this. So let's actually see our predictions. Want to actually see our predictions also. Okay, sorry, what did I do here? So let's actually see this. Want to see our pred, y pred. Our y pred is going to be what did it actually predict. After that of the y pred, then we are going to get the probability threshold that was actually being set. This accuracy score, I can't actually get accuracy. Good to go. I'm going to drag this up. So everything looks, so we're just going to send in this of the I can see our data frame that I want to actually predict. Remember that it's not a mod. You can actually send that of the 2D array directly. So you don't need to actually, but most of the time the data you're going to want to actually predict might be really much. So you can just send it directly that of the pandas data frame to see output. I didn't even know the mistake I did. I sent this confusion matrix and this of the classification report. Meanwhile, these are for testing of the model when we actually did the training. But I did forgot what to actually do here. Why predict what you actually predicted now is now a different data frame entirely. So, but without being aside, let's actually see things that we're able to actually get down here. So okay, so we can see these are the prediction that we actually got for all these for this new column that we're actually setting. So for 2 and 11 we're able to get 0. So the last one we're interested 45 600. The initially was 1. It was actually predicted it to be that of the 1. And when we look at this threshold, it predicted everything. We assign all the threshold here to be 100. The other guy is 0. For these guys, the zeros are the 0. We can say the first column are all zeros. So remember, it takes the mode, or can say the highest that appear. In case there are more than 2, there are maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The one that has the highest probability or the highest accuracy is going to be picked out, and it's going to assign it that is what the model actually predicted. So you can see that I predicted for the first one 211 to be 0. I'll have the 282 and 2000 to be 1, followed by 265, 250 to be 1, and then when it got to this 0, 400, it predicted 0, 450, he predicted 0, and out of the 45, 600 was able to predict 1. So when you look at this, everything was actually assigned. If it's not 100, if it's not 1, because no, it's actually 1, not 100. If it's not 1, it didn't actually, maybe something like maybe this one has 0.7, maybe this one has 0.3. We just predicted it perfectly. But I don't think this, as of now, this model doesn't really have much data that is used for the training of the model, so you can actually publish this as a for development, or maybe for public use, because as of now the model is not actually trained on any useful data. When we did that of the fit, for the fitting, you didn't actually learn much. So for public use, it's not actually ideal for public use as of now. So as of now, the model can be suffering from that of the overfitting and underfitting. So remember that the same ideology can also be applied for this of the regression part that we actually make use of this decision tree regression. You can also apply the same mode of actually predicting your own custom data, like how we actually did here. So remember that this model, like I said, is not up to for public use as of now. So this can, because it can be suffering for what is called overfitting and underfitting, and this is what basically what we are going to look to in our next video: overfitting and underfitting of machine learning model. So this like I said, is what we are going to look at in our next video. So if you're really interested in learning that of overfitting and underfitting, how to improve your model to actually perform really well, that somebody else outside your globe, your country, can make use of and enjoy it, make sure to watch the next video where we'll be talking about that of the overfitting and also for that of the underfitting. And also this is actually for testing purpose, like when this accuracy score, confusion matches and classification, not when you want to actually, because this widespread right now is making use of this new what we actually predicted, and for this actually predicted, the white test does not actually exist for it. There's not actually white test color or the target color. What we just said, that was the future. So don't make